I just did a version of this video and then somebody called me and ruined it. Today's October 11th, 2016. Last month was the shooting of Terence Crutcher, who, in a toxicology report released today, was revealed to have PCP. I'm sorry for speaking so quickly or hastily, but I'm trying to do this correctly without, they a whole minute they just took away from me. I was getting all into the video and they ruined it. His death sparked all of these protests, all of this outrage. You have Black Lives Matter giving rally after rally after rally after rally. And, the entire time I was watching those, I just kept thinking in the back of my head, I don't believe this officer was, out to maliciously shoot a black person. I'm sorry, I don't. Um, but I also had a feeling that something was amiss. This wasn't just he just got his car and then just blew his brains out. I had this belief that he did something or there was something off about him. Um, you know, to influence his mind. And I think the PCP thing confirmed that suspicion. And I would rather this honestly for my own I guess point of view, and I'll kind of explain it a little bit later. Well, shortly after this, I would rather have I'm in a way I'm sort of relieved to have found this out because I don't like to believe that the cops are out to get me. I don't like to believe that the people I'm going to call if I'm in trouble are the ones who are going to put me in trouble or more trouble than I had coming to me. I don't like to have that belief. But at the same time, I don't like to assess, things without knowing facts. And, now we know he had PCP in his system. Apparently, he had some in the car. There's a correlation here. And I'm not trying to say every single person who uses PCP needs to be blown to pieces. No. But there's definitely a case of this repeated behavior where someone has drugs, someone has a gun, and they get shot. I think the drugs influenced him to not cooperate, and I think he was, because of that, it led to his demise. If he had been, without these drugs, would that have changed anything? Perhaps. We don't know for sure because it didn't happen. But the point is, if you look at this guy's personal life, you can see he was, just a sort of normal type guy, had his own little problems with law here and there, but whatever. Um, you know, there was nothing for me to think he would just, go blazing on a cop. I couldn't believe that he would do that of sound mind. And with this drug theory or with this drug confirmation, because now we know for a fact that he had PCP, it confirms that there was something off. And I'm not saying blame the drugs, but there's definitely has to be some accountability. Now, is it good that he's dead? No. These children he had lost a father, and that's sad. But I'm not going to sit up here and say that uh, this was just the racist, evil cops. And I really am glad it wasn't. Even like with them finding these drugs now, because I don't want to believe the people I'm going to call law enforcement are out to get me. That they're trying to come for me and you know make sure that they catch me and you know uh, put me on a milk carton for BLM to protest about. I hate thinking that way, and I don't think that way usually. And I held off on even because there were people around me who were saying it's murder. They just got him for no reason. And I just kept thinking that can't be the case. There had to have been something wrong here for the guy to be, shot up. And we're seeing that now with, this confirmation here. Um, the other thing to take away from this is that in this impending trial, if we even get one, that's still up for debate. I guarantee you the defendants of this officer are going to use this new factoid of the PCP thing. Like, it's they're like kids in a candy store with this information. Every single action this man made, PCP, 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 PCP. They will use that over and over again, and it may end up winning them the case off this one thing alone. Because we have a fear of drugs. That's why we had the war on drugs a couple of decades ago with Nixon. Not Nixon, with Reagan. No, I've kind of always had my difference, or was that with both of them? I'll look it up later. But the point is, we've had a culture that is scared of, things that are not, that will mess with our mental state. Whether it's PCP, marijuana, methamphetamine, it doesn't matter. It's anything that is a drug that is not prescribed. It creates this panic. And, she didn't know off the top of her head the guy was, had this in the system. But I guarantee you, her jury or her defendants will use this to defend every action she made, including shooting him, and bastardize everything he did. And I'm not saying that it's someone on either side. And honestly, I think that we're gonna get to a point where we either ban all drugs or we make this hard to get. There's something will happen because this illegal drug thing, isn't playing too well. Too many people get caught with drugs and they go to prison. Three strike rule. Nonviolent crimes and imprisonment always just rub me the wrong way, but that's off topic. So all in all, this confirms what I thought, which was that he wasn't of sound mind when he did this. There was something off about the details I was hearing. I just couldn't think a reasonable person would have this kind of confrontation with the cops. But also, I know how this is going to play out now as far as a trial is concerned. They will use this and just defile every action he made with this. I guarantee you. That's just my speculation. So thank you for watching and have a good day.